This horror thriller movie tells the tale of a recently widowed woman who rents out a country house in the UK for 2 weeks following a terrible incident in which her husband kills himself during their separation argument. It's a slow boil to body trope atrocities, but the tension is dense, heavy, and keeps you on the edge of your seat. The sound in one part blends wonderfully with the tune, and there are the hauntingly filmed scenes that are downright eerie. The performers perform admirably. The colors and lighting are excellent, and it looks stunning, yet nothing ever happens while the smoke keeps rising. Men, this movie has something that is outside the box for your average moviegoer, which is eerily similar to the experiences of many other women as well as the main characters in the film. When their experiences are not understood, it is nevertheless ingrained in society to minimize them and any pain that may have resulted, either by dismissing their reactions as unjustified or putting the blame for the suffering they feel on them. This movie is not your typical horror movie, and it doesn't spoon-feed you the plot. Regardless, the plot was great, and the cinematography was fabulous. If you aren't paying attention, there are numerous subliminal and not-so-subliminal messages scattered throughout the film, which serves as a metaphor for misogyny. Men depicts some of the toxic conflicts between males and women, including one that men have twisted for their own purposes. It is a terrible and gory illustration of how toxic masculinity breeds poisonous masculinity, and how this cycle is perpetuated by society's support. It's the doubt, dismissal, gaslighting, and victimization. It truly did make a good point with, in a world where men are never to blame for their harmful habits. This movie really hit the nail on the head when it showed the anguish, rage, despair, and frightening inevitableness of all the emotions a woman would experience. What it means to embrace one's truth and the pain a woman experiences after emotionally releasing baggage that was never hers to carry. If you enjoy watching movies that stay in your head for days afterward, you'll enjoy this one. I didn't believe a movie about grieving and ending a terrible relationship could ever be depicted in any better way than. I didn't believe a movie about coping with sorrow and ending a toxic relationship could ever be depicted in any better way than this movie does. It is incredibly terrible, terrifying, unrepentant, and loaded with unprocessed emotion. It was spooky, tense, and downright unsettling. It met all of my criteria. It was superbly directed, with an impactful music. This movie, which depicts the misogynistic nightmares that women have to live with for centuries and still do now, should to be seen by everyone, in my opinion. The movie does a superb job at metaphorically and literally expressing this, which makes it infinitely scarier than films with fictional themes like ghosts or monsters, though it still has that eerie, nightmarish terror to it. It is not until the final act that the fragrant smoke in the air quickly turns into tear gas. Confusion and mayhem are left in its wake as the movie accelerates like a particle going towards a black hole. As the movie comes to a bizarre, ludicrous ending, your mouth drops as a viewer in an instant. Things quickly become bizarre, which is an understatement in and of itself. This film then takes a nasty and disturbing turn that I don't believe any spectator could have predicted. The irony in reading many of the criticisms is that the reviewers claim they did not understand the picture, and as a result, it is deserving of being judged poor. This movie offers something that is unusual for the typical moviegoer.